program. And this is continued from a previous meeting in March. We'll be talking tonight. Sort of tell the truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Thanks. Do you want to come up and give us an overview of what you're looking to do?
Sure. We conducted our community needs assessment last year, and our stakeholders did present a desire for more Head Start and early Head Start services in the northern area of our county. We actually.
Would you mind go to the podium?
Oh.
I'll probably see it here better, yeah.
Sorry. I'm Rebecca Bishop Ware. I'm Director of the Head Start Early Head Start program in Bennington County. So last year we conducted our community needs assessment, and our stakeholders did present a desire for Head Start or early Head Start services in the northern area of our county. Currently, we're in Pownell, we're in Bennington, we're in North Bennington. And when we looked at the data, infant and toddler care is really in shortage in Vermont, in Bennington County. Because UCS is our grantee agency, the agency that oversees the Head Start program, we have been operating a successful model of the same for more than 30 years. Within the main UCS building in Bennington, there is an 8-slot infant and toddler child care program. We're really proposing a duplicate of this program in Manchester, an 8-slot small infant and toddler only child care program. The children will be 8 weeks old to 3 years old. They'll have their services 7:30 to 4, Monday through Friday, within the structure of the UCS building and the supports of the UCS staffing there.
Okay. What was currently in the space that you're taking?
It's currently a conference room. So it's intermittently used by staff who work in the offices there. The conference room will move to a different large room within the facility, but it's a different use of that space.
And parking?
I did count the parking spots. Right now there is a middle parking area. It has 7 painted spaces. There's an area in the very back that has 7 painted spaces. There's another area that if we needed to, we could paint more spaces. And then there's a little bit of parking for 3 cars in the front. The thing about childcare that's different than school is children arrive within a time frame. So when we're opening at 7:30 for childcare, children will come at staggered times, anytime between 7:30 and 9 a.m., generally speaking. So it would be 1 or 2 extra cars at a time, dropping their children off and then leaving for the day. And then the same thing happens at the opposite end in the afternoon. They'll start going home anytime between 2:30 and 4. It will be staggered and it will be no more than a couple of spaces at a time. And again, I did count 17 slots there, and there is room to paint more lines to make a 3rd line of parking if needed also.
And you've calculated out, Peter, there's plenty of parking space. Is that a sprinkled building? Sprinkled or no?
Do you think it's sprinkled? It is not.
I'm just wondering if you need any special, I mean, if we give you a permit, there still might be other things you might need from the state.
We have an appointment coming up with the fire inspector on Tuesday.
Perfect.
To speak of our other Head Start programs that we operate in the southern area of the county, some are sprinkled and some are not. And again, we work closely with the fire inspector to let us know if it's required or not, depending on a variety of factors.
How many children do you think you're gonna have, or kids?
No more than 8. We intend to keep it a small site with a low ratio in that way, no more than 8.
The other locations, are they the same size typically, 400?
The one that I speak of, the UCS Infant Toddler Center in Bennington, it is the same size. There's 8 children, that have attended there for the last couple of years. Many years ago, the capacity was larger, 12 or 15, and I feel like that's too large, and I've asked for 8 on our license with the childcare licensing division, and we will keep it at 8.
It's pretty straightforward. This was-
I don't have any questions.
No questions for me. Any questions, Eileen or Mary?
No, I think the primary question that I had has been answered, and that is that it's meeting the parking requirements. And it sounds like they have a little extra, if needed, so no questions from me.
Mary?
I'm all set with what they've.
That's it. Do a motion
I'll
to
make a
close?
motion to close.
Yeah, I'll make a second of that.
All in favor? Aye.
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 Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, next up, Dr. Robert Treat, 48 Treat Hill Road. Applicants propose a 3,600 square foot expansion. The veterinary hospital, will be testifying tonight. Swear to tell the truth, nothing but the truth. Thanks. All right, go through, we went through a preliminary, hearing last time, just want to know what we've changed or added or.
So Chris Vanessa, Men's Engineering, obviously here helping Dr. Tree. They went through design advisory at 5 o'clock. And was a recommended approval with a couple modifications. If you guys want to bring up the site plan, I can go over. There's been a couple of changes since the preliminary. The building itself is going to stay the same, a small change to the parking lot, and we are not relocating one of the residences as we were going to be doing before.
Okay.
So I want to, if they bring up the site plan,
Is that the one you want?
I'm gonna bring that up so I can show you.
Oh, wait.
Should have paper copies in front of you too. But they might.
Yeah, I was listening, like, William, the architect, is also on the call like he was earlier today.
Yeah, it should be sharing. I don't know why it isn't.
Hello. Sorry, were you guys expecting me to speak right now?
We're waiting on it. We have technical difficulties.
Okay.
Sharing
Sorry.
screens.
Is that monitor?
They're both off.
And they're both off. There we go.
There we
There we
go.
go. Sure, so.
Yeah, I'm hitting it, Pete.
Did it again. You're not doing it right.
Okay, here you go. You figured it.
Look at that.
You can do either one or the other. You can't have both. Is that what it is?
Really interesting. I don't think we've ever had this problem.
There you go.
Oh, there you go.
Got it.
Eventually. I'm gonna move around a little bit, that's okay.
Yep.
So, as I was stating before, the building is not changed at all. That is still here. It's an addition on the east side of the existing building. And then the parking lot is basically the same. What we did change is previously we had, an access drive for the parking going up in this area where 22 Treat Hill Road is. We were planning on moving this building and placing it over here onto the next door neighbor's lot, being his father's property. But because of a couple of items, one being difficult to move the house after further inspection, cost of moving the house, and then the access drive here is actually gonna be relatively steep. And I don't actually like going up that steep because of winter conditions. So we're gonna have just the access off the north side of Treat Hill Road. Dr. Treat does have an easement, with, East Branch Farms to use this road here for access. So that's not a problem. That was settled back when East Branch Farms development, whatever the name of the development, decided something different, was built back years ago. So at this time, we've updated our plan set for that. We've updated the water and sewer plans. As we discussed during the preliminary meeting, the sewer is still being brought up the road from down near the Arcade Miles development, and it's being brought to a point here, just shy of a really large tree, the maple that's at the corner. And then we're gonna run our sewer up for connections from there. This would remain in the right of way and have stubs for future connections by the town or extension by the town. Because of a couple of updates with water, we had talked about bringing that to this intersection, that manhole, and possibly for easier connections. However, after going over the as-built of the water with Eric, that water line actually crosses, where I had it crossing East Branch Farms Road before. The water line crosses from the south side to the north side and then runs parallel with Route 30 in that area. And then obviously water and sewer would have to be separated by 10 feet, which would be outside of the right of way, which is not an undertaking that we can take at this time for everything going the way it was. And then because of walls and different items there, and after talking with Eric was perfectly happy leaving it there and suggested that we leave it there. And then we'll move up from there for our water and sewer. We've proposed additional lighting that was talked about at the design advisory meeting. There'll be a few building lights and then one so far, but most likely 2 pole lights so that meet the height restrictions and the night sky compliance along with the commercial building.
And you got the locations of those lights?
Yes, and the plan's been included in here. You'll still be able to see it, but it will be updated slightly. Just to, they're gonna get those down. So we're no longer proposing a residence and driveway in this location. So I've gone ahead and added back parking spaces in this area. And then we've added some more parking in the back as well. So there's adequate parking that meets the code for everything that's gonna be necessary. Since we are leaving this residence, we're gonna be shortening the driveway a little bit, putting in a split or a stockade fence with some arborvitae, just as a nice block between the residence and the hospital, just to keep them separated, and then obviously some decorative landscaping between the building and the parking lot to enhance it. Everything else, all utilities obviously would be underground as of right now. And then the only thing that is not shown here that I'm currently working on is the stormwater permit for the state of Vermont. As of that time, I'm looking right here on the side of the parking lot, outside of the utility areas for a small bioretention area. So a bioretention area is like a sunken planting bed that has filter material in it and will have plantings in it. And then it's there for absorption into the ground of the stormwater generated at the site. So there will be some additional landscaping right in this area here. Probably another 10 to 12 small shrubs. I know you guys always like more, but we've met the standard with this, and there will be more, a little bit more in the future as that permitting gets finalized. Besides that, we are going to just widen the throat of that driveway just a little bit. When the surveyor did shoot it, it came up a little short. I want to make sure it's at full access wide, so we'll be adding just a little bit of pavement there to make the road regular standard size. But overall, do you want to go to the next one?
On this real quick on the sewer note, you had talked about possibly some type of right of way or easement to.
Yeah, well, this is actually in the right of way.
No, what the thought was is if you're running up that towards the new vet, where's your last manhole? Up on the,
There is a manhole that is right here and then a clean out that would be right there. So that clean out would be the end of the line. It would be an 8-inch clean out and then that could be, obviously cut and extended past that, but an easement could be granted there for town sewer to get up to the street level.
right, and I think the thought was possibly that if we did have an easement there to get, so if East Branch Farms at some point in time wanted to hook to that, they could hook to that as well?
Yes.
That,
That is possible because we're, as of right now, for the water service, that's why I wanted to go to the next one. This building does need to be sprinkled now. So we have to bring a 6-inch water service up from Route 30. So we're actually speaking, or Dr. Treat is actually speaking with East Branch Farms Homeowners Association about being able to bring that line to their water line, which comes up on his side of the road, outside of the main. For a water connection here, he needs an easement, 10 to 15 feet wide for maybe 10 feet long. For an easement, and he's working on that right now, but otherwise we'd be coming up from Route 30 with water as well. So that's a good trade-off to provide them with a sewer easement for future use for a water easement for now.
now with that, if you run, when you're along the side of the road, do you still have to have that 10-foot separation between water and sewer? Or?
Well, no, the sewer, water, yes, horizontally when you're running up it, but there's no, like, we would be going directly across this yard and connecting to the water right here. So sewer then would come down and go this way, and they can cross, but if they're running parallel, they have to be 10 feet apart.
Okay, so you can cross, a sewer line can cross.
Yes, they have to be 18 inches of vertical separation.
Okay.
Or they have to be sleeved, depending on what we can make work.
And the problem with going up along the highway farther with it is you were gonna be parallel to it instead of just crossing it.
Correct.
Okay,
Yes.
that makes sense.
So, but otherwise, because, obviously it's a shorter line and there's less construction in the roadway if we don't have to do that. So obviously we're trying to do that first to keep costs down and keep construction and traffic and everything else handled better.
And Eric, I did,
So
was fine with it.
yeah, they were fine with it as it sits today, and then he asked, he suggested this as well, and I asked him about it, and he said, yeah, if you can get an easement, we would prefer that you do that. He actually would prefer it if we can get the easement.
Yep.
But, offering them a sewer easement in the future is obviously a great bargain.
Yep.
Can you actually go to the next one? So this is the grading and drainage plan. I've actually developed this a little bit more. The parking lot, I know there's only 3 contours on the final plan because it's relatively flat once you get up to the top. We're gonna have a dry well in here between the buildings. That will be for the connection of the roof so we don't get ponding in between the buildings here. The soils, when they were tested, are beautiful gravel down, he was down 9 or 10 feet. So we're gonna do a dry well in this area. And then, like I said, that bioretention area is gonna sit right over here, right here, just outside of the sewer and water utilities. Otherwise, the landscaping is here, showing the trees and species, the charts on the top of the page. It's pretty typical Vermont trees, very typical species for shrubs that you see at most other developments in town, such as spirea and some perennial bushes like butterfly bush and things. Can you go to the next one, please? This is the current water and sewer plan. As you can see, the water line here, coming in. After talking with Eric, we might move this connection from here to here underground, so it comes up at an angle and we can be closer to the side of the road, so we don't have to go across it. And bring it up, but yeah, we're gonna right now, we'll be coming up from Route 30 one way or another, and then otherwise, this would shoot out. If we can get it from East Branch Farms, this water line would just shoot all the way over to here and then connect on the side of the road. I know it's kind of weird that the building shows the water line going all the way to the center of the building. That's actually where the utility room and the upright will be, so I did show it full length. Otherwise, this plan is basically the same as before. Obviously, this house is no longer there. It's remaining here with the septic, and then the connections for water and sewer would be there. The only thing I haven't worked out with Eric yet is now that we're gonna have this one extra curb stop at the bottom, if we're gonna have to disconnect that or not. And that's something that we will work on with for water and sewer, because I think the curb stop out there right now.
Yeah, I think
We weren't planning on changing the grid.
either use both of them or eliminate, turn one off.
Yeah,
'Cause I think one's just deadheaded right now.
Right, and, because previously we were looking at bringing the water and sewer, those water and sewer in a little differently, but with this house, remaining now, and then obviously the tree that's planned to be kept, that's right outside the building, just trimmed, we had to definitely go around. But yeah, this is the water and sewer. We already had a permit for the sewer. We're amending that. We're just waiting on the hear from each transforms for the water so we can submit to the state of Vermont. This was already issued once, it would be issued again, and we would rectify all necessary allocations with the town as well. And I think there's one more. Nope. Oh, that's the sewer profile. That's sewer, water and sewer. Keep going. There's one. Nope, that was it. Okay, sorry. I'm thinking of the lighting plan. That's on the architects. Oh, okay. William, do you want to talk about this or do you want me to?
The lighting plan?
Yeah,
I mean, you're more than welcome to.
okay. So as described before, there would be some building lights here. They're shown with their light throws. And then again, here at the building, and then the one pole light here. It was at the wrong height, but we're gonna bring it down to the height. So there's one, but most likely there's gonna end up being two of them. Instead of one with the new changes. So there'll be two light poles at the height of 16 feet. And so that's it for the lighting, and I will rectify my plan to show those. A lot of this happened in the last couple of days. I didn't have a chance to get new plans here showing those two light poles in my plan.
But are the lights off at what time? Are they on all night or are they
Yeah,
off?
so no, they'll have timers and daylight and sensors, with the new commercial building energy code. Not being a person that does buildings and lighting plans, but I just did one at Southern Vermont Medical Center. And they didn't have trouble finding a fixture, but to find a fixture that meets both Night Sky, the town of Bennington, which is very close to the town of Manchester, it's very similar, and the commercial energy code, they had to get specialty light heads with sensors for daylight and then timers, and there's something else that they have to do with the lighting now to meet the commercial code. So they will make sure that all gets met. Obviously, this will have to go in for a public building permit with fire safety, and they check the electrical and the lighting with that as well.
But the lights, when the place is closed down, the lights go out.
Yes.
I'm assuming, right?
And they would be on timers for that, and or unless there's a motion sensor for security, those are allowed to turn on, they're allowed to stay on for like 8 to 10 minutes and then turn off. But minimal, and as you know, this would be Night Sky compliant, so it's gonna be a very dim throw. It is up away from Depot Street or Route 30. And it does have a large amount of trees and will have now a residence, because this, you gotta think this driveway not here, there is a residence that's gonna be sitting right here as well to help block that. So this will be updated for all of that. And that's basically it. So again, I know from the preliminary meeting, when we looked at this at review, there were a few changes. I just want to reiterate those. The house at 22 Tree Hill will remain in place. We are not moving it over onto the other lot. Water and sewer, we listened, obviously, and made the changes necessary, and we'll take care of the easements and everything with the town during the final review when we send it in for permitting. So water and sewer have been kind of rectified to everything that we've talked about, and we're just looking to finalize those with them. And then again, we'll be submitting that permit and then submitting our stormwater permit, which would have, again, that one extra little landscape feature on the side for infiltration into the ground. I don't know, they didn't really go through building during design advisory. I don't know if that's what it was or if it was just lighting and.
Lighting and landscaping, what we went through.
So a full set of architecturals was also set at the building. I'm sure you've probably seen them or they can show them. Those are just the fixtures. Oh, yeah, so the building itself, obviously going through, you can see, similar color and similar styles on the addition.
You look at that or not?
We didn't look at that, we didn't deal with that. With the
Do
building.
you usually look at the colors and stuff?
Well, I mean, it's so far, so bad. I
Yeah.
mean, that was the thing.
And obviously, if you do have questions on the building, the architect is online.
Hey guys, do you want me to kind of run through the plans and elevations?
I have any questions.
I don't really have any questions on the buildings. Eileen or Mary? Okay, can you see this on your screen? The buildings?
We can, and we have the hard copy, so.
Do you have any questions about the buildings or?
No, I mean, I think it looks good, so I don't have any questions.
I think it does too. It looks, you said it's very similar in style. Are you keeping the main entrance where it currently is, or is that all?
No. So the intent is to build this new addition off the existing and make this new addition base pretty much the entire clinic would be taking place inside this new addition. So there'd be a new entry, a new lobby space, a new reception area. Everything would be ADA compliant. I've already run our life safety kind of code study through the state just for a cursory review because I know they've adopted and they've got a lot more stringent codes that we had to contend with. So this will be sprinkled. The new half, at least, the existing half is we're going to have a firewall kind of breaking the one side from the other. There will be some functions that still happen in the existing but for the most part, it's going to be everything occurring in the new side. So it's going to be more state of the art, just everything kind of brought up to the present day kind of standards, for the surgery rooms and central oxygen and just the way the overall flow of the space is compared to where it is currently. It's been a good, successful practice, but I believe it was a residential home that got converted into a vet facility at some point a long time ago. And, they've made it work as best they can, but it's at this point kind of hindering them from any additional growth. So our intent with the exterior is to just connect it to the existing and kind of make it seem more seamless, but obviously making this one the presence and the new main entrance, and nobody will be confused by that.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yep.
One of the features that I like is the entrance and exit are in the same area with near the new parking lot, but they're separated. So animals being walked in or crated in, they would not cross each other in the entrance and exit. They would be separate. They would meet on the sidewalk outside, but not inside the building going through the doorways, which is a very nice feature.
That's good.
This does fall under conditional use, so just want to go through the 5 criteria. The capacity of existing or planned community facilities, which.
Yeah, actually, we're going to be expanding the planned community facilities such as water and sewer. Well, not water as much, I think that's a service, but we are doing that, extending the sewer. No new roads are being built, just the existing parking lot and a couple small upgrades. But yeah, I don't think there's any impact there.
Character of the area.
Again, it's residential and the veterinary hospital now. This is an expansion, obviously, but will remain as it is now. And we're adding enhancements to try to keep it the way it is.
And traffic.
Yeah, traffic, obviously, there is business that goes in and out of it all day. It is on the access of State Highway Collection Road. And it will not trigger a traffic study because it doesn't have peak hour trips enough, and we don't see any issues any more than it is. I kind of like it now because people will be using East Branch Farms Road a little bit more and not trying to come out and cock around the hills. Like I try to do it in my truck, I always go over the lane.
I was
So
around the
this
back
will
one
actually
too. Any other provisions, the ordinances, bylaws? No. Utilization of any renewable energy?
As of right now, there are solar panels already on the site. They are in the back. They feed the grid. But no other planned renewables are being done at this time.
Are you gonna use any of the panels to power the new building, or that just goes to the grid?
That would be a question for Dr. Bob, but I believe it goes right to the grid.
Yeah, that goes to the grid. I mean, everything inside the building is going to meet all the new energy codes. All the lighting is going to be LED lighting. It's going to be insulated, and all the new mechanical units that go in there are going to be, the new standards. So they're all going to meet the new energy codes there as well.
Okay.
Good question. So you said you're making the new building look fits in with the older buildings. Are you renovating the older buildings to match the new building?
No, the intent there, I mean, there's like one or two rooms that we are going to continue to use.
Just exterior I'm asking about.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, the intent is to try to blend the new addition, the new gable on the right side. That would be all new material. Where we have existing wall meeting up with a brand new wall, we're going to try to blend use the same exact material that was on the old building. Some of the stuff we're demoing off, we're going to reuse so it's just kind of a seamless transition. But then color wise and everything else, it's going to match.
Okay.
Eileen, any questions?
No, and you said the existing lighting, the new lighting, which of course we've already covered, are you gonna be doing anything with the older lighting, or is that gonna be matching the newer lighting? Exterior.
Yeah, as far as as what's there currently, I think it's pretty much a residential grade, like porch lights and things like that. So right now it is sufficient. There's also some spotlights and whatnot. If it needs to be upgraded, we can more than, absolutely upgrade them. So it's all consistent, but what is there right now is adequate.
But I think Eileen's question was, is any of the current exterior lighting, if it does not fall within the
Current,
lighting plan for the town,
yeah.
as far as being shielded and whatnot, you will bring any existing lighting up to the new plan, is that?
Oh,
correct?
100%. Yes, correct.
Okay.
Yes,
I think,
thank you.
was that
Yes.
your question, Eileen?
Yes, that was my question. Thank you. Thanks for
Yep.
clarifying.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah.
Mary?
No, I think Eileen, that was a great point because I don't think we covered that earlier at the DAB, the existing lighting. We talked about the new lighting. So other than that, I think it looks good.
Any questions from the audience? It's no. Any motion?
I'll make a motion to close.
Make a second on that.
All in favor?
Aye,
Hi.
Thanks.
looks
Thank you very
good.
much. Looks
Thank you.
good.
Look,
Mission accomplished. No.
Okay, next up. Craig Hunter. Craig Hunter, 43 Depot Street. This is a preliminary. Applicants requesting change of use from retail store to wine bar. Sorry. Have a good night. Have a good night. Thanks.
Hey, everybody.
How you doing?
We're just here for a preliminary hearing. I'm Craig Hunter on behalf of HB Realty Partners. And there's Tom and Laura Cutler here are the proposed wine bar owners. And when we were going through this, we with 50 seat with a 50 using 50 is a goal, but it may be a little less. I don't think we need any more. We ran into a shortage of parking in our complex between Center Hill and Depot, talking about Depot 62, the Walker House, the Tooney building, the building that used to house is housing a doctor now on the corner of Center Hill, the old birdhouse building where there are apartments now. So I basically included all of that because they all use different parts of the parking. And went through all the calculations and we came up and did the shared partner calculations, which I think you have in front of you.
and came up with a deficit of 8 spaces. It's primarily due to the competing needs of the restaurant and bar in the high use weekend periods, in the evening. Otherwise, we come within, beyond that period, evening on the weekend, we're in compliance, we have enough parking the rest of the week, day, night, everything. So with that in mind, and looking through bylaws, the DRB does have discretion that if a couple of different things are met, you can either increase or decrease the required parking. It's on page 113 of the bylaw, modification of the number of spaces. And a couple of them, one of them is provide supplementary bicycle parking in accordance with section 9610. And the other, and more important one, is the applicant demonstrates that there is adequate parking for public available within 1,000 feet as measured along the sidewalk of the proposed development to meet all or a portion of the demand. This is not the same as what we went through with property next to Little Rooster. It's not we're not looking for a waiver of parking. But this section allows you some discretion if there is adequate public parking within 1,000 feet of
What's,
proposed use.
Peter, what, I mean, public parking, how would you consider public parking? Is that something like a town-owned?
The
parking?
town would be the only public parking.
So the only public parking would be town-owned property.
And it does meet that criteria. It's within, I think, I gave you a couple of
I
maps.
think this at 1,000 feet.
It has to be within 1,000 feet, and it's within 400, it's 450 feet from the.
To the municipal lot.
Municipal lot on Elm Street.
How many spaces does that allow?
I think 20, I think I counted.
So in your calculation, how many spaces does the building you're looking at using require?
If they have a 50-seat wine bar, they are required to have,
A maximum of 86? Is that the correct?
25 spaces.
25, I think it's 25 according to the chart.
Yeah, 25 spaces. And of course, we're looking at a Depot Cafe that's required to have 37. They're permanent for 7 years. So those are the two big parking lot users.
As required.
And
What are the hours for the wine bar? What are the proposed hours going to be?
Monday, 5 to 9, Tuesday, 5 to 9, Wednesday, 5 to 9, Thursday, 5 to 10, Friday, Saturday, from Friday, 4 to 10, Saturday, I figured out for sure, but probably 1 to 10, and Sunday, 1 to 8.
So I did also want to point out that it is within 1,000 feet of a number of parking spaces that we own across the street behind Manchester Square. We've got an overabundance of parking across the street.
and again, how many spaces are available at the physical location right now? Or
Physical location between all of the properties that are there. And some of them, the Act 250 permit combines sort of the Walker project, the Toomey building, the Walker building, the Depot building. And so gathering all those parking spaces together, we have a total of 78 parking spaces available.
78, you said?
78,
Just on your property.
just on our.
Oh, okay, so I guess what I'm looking at here has got two things. I'm looking at 25 for that, but if you're adding all your properties together, available parking is 78, and it looks to me like required, you've got either 95 or 86.
No, well, the 95 is if bare parking, this is what the statute says, that's what's required. But then there's a section that allows for shared parking, there's a calculation based upon the time, the day, you
Yep.
calculate, and so all those calculations were done. And it also says that you don't have to round that up until you've done all your calculations, so that's why all the decimal points are in there in that spreadsheet. And so the only time time and day that we run at a deficit is on the weekend during the evening period.
And that's when they're open.
That's when they're open, yes, and it's because they open opposite people.
Well, I know, I understand. I'm just. So we're short.
But if you, for example, if you take out. The retail spaces aren't open after 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock on Sunday. So if you add the wine bar and the cafe where the space is required, without doing the calculations of the shared parking, you're looking at 62 are required for those two uses against using, wine bar and depot cafe, which is under the number of parking we have available at the site. So it's only because this calculation, this table gives a value to retail during the evening hours, when none of our retail stores are open. I'm not disputing the calculation that I did them the way they are. But the fact of the matter is, nobody's going into Toomey at 7.
Well, no, I mean, I understand where you're coming from, but I'm just saying, what we kind of have to go by is
Understood.
how
Understood, which is why I cited the section that allows you to have the discretion to do that if 2 of the 4 at least provide any combination of the following for the development review board to make a decision to increase or decrease the amount of required off-street parking. One was the bicycle rack, adding a bicycle rack, which is there's not one there now. And the 2 is demonstrate that within 1,000 feet of the proposed use that there's adequate public parking available that meets the demand. There's 20 spaces on Elm Street. There's close to 100 spaces across the street that we own, and we're short 8 spaces. So again, I'm not asking you to make it. You can't make a decision tonight.
No.
It's just a preliminary. Just trying to get an idea of, are we on the right track to see if we can get this done, or do Tom and Laura have to go back to the drawing board and see how they can make it work with 36. I don't know what they can. As far as I know, the number around 50 is about where they need to be to make the business work.
How would that parking across the street be handled? Would that be a right of, an easement, or how would they share?
I think it's in the bylaw that there will be a shared parking agreement in place.
So there would be a
Yes,
share.
a written document that was recorded with the town allowing you, and if it's not there already,
Ask a question. Where is the public parking that's available, other than a lot on the corner of Elm and Highland? What you said is you think 20 spaces?
Yes.
Where else did you come up with public parking that was within 1,000 feet?
It's not public, but it's by default public. Our parking lot at Manchester Square across the road.
Street.
Okay,
So those-
Yeah, close, I think more than 100 parking.
because there's nothing on Elm Street,
Nothing on
right? And nothing on Depot or Center Hill.
Depot, there are 20 spaces, I think, on the other side of the Depot 62 building. In between Depot 62 and Zoe's Deli. There are 20 spaces there, I think. Yes, they're east parking lot.
Okay, thank you.
Basically, for my mind, parking's is going to be the biggest holdup, if anything.
Now, this space is over the 1,500 square feet for the other,
Yes, I mean, the building is 3,000 something square feet. I think this space is 1,680 change. So it doesn't qualify for any parking waiver. We're not looking for a parking waiver.
I think it's important to note what you said, though, the two retail spaces won't be open when they're open at night, when they're busy at nighttime.
Right.
So there's some spaces that will actually come
Yeah, if you
in.
took the retail spaces out of the calculation, we meet all
Yeah.
the requirements.
That's good. That's good to understand.
But I know that the bylaw has to cover itself because there are some retail spaces that may wish to open until 8 or 9 o'clock at night. Our group has set hours, they're open by 1. That's.
Okay, thank you.
So basically, the building, there is no parking on Main Street side of the building now, or is there?
Main Street.
Or on Depot Street, Depot Street.
No. It's all between.
It's all between the buildings out back.
62 and on the other corner of the building behind, on the back. room.
So no matter where you park, you're going to be walking from the parking space to that building.
You have to park in front of it.
And all the property that has the shared parking for your calculations is owned by the same entity,
The same person, different entities, but the same person.
same
The
person.
common ownership.
One
I
thing
guess, I guess that's very helpful in case there are any parking issues that should come up. It is owned by the same person, same entity. For example, Depot 62, which is probably going to be open some similar hours to what the wine bar will be. There's an agreement, a parking agreement, correct? Is that what you said? Shared parking agreement?
There would be, if it's not already on file with the town, there would be a shared, we can file a record shared parking agreement. We just went through a very similar thing with the Crystal Palace. And trying to sell that building, it is tied by Act 250 permit with the Polo building and with a parking lot behind the Little Rooster building on Main Street. You guys heard us arguing about those boundary line adjustments. And we created a master easement that laid out what properties shared what and we'll be recording at the town probably this week. And so it's something similar to that, maybe not as involved as what we just did, but an agreement that states that this property, this entity, and this entity with these properties all agree to share parking. It would surprise me if there's not language in the Act 250 permit for this property already that describes that share.
I would assume there must have been something in there
Yeah,
when this building,
yeah.
because
I have binders this thick from that Act 250 process, the water project, and so it would surprise me if there wasn't something in there.
that was Doug's, right? That was the old auto parts store, yeah.
I think it was originally the first Ford dealership. I think there's a picture.
Years.
Years ago.
Because their parking used to be out front.
Right. And I was looking through the plans and there was a revision of the plan that had parking where all the perennial beds are not in front of the building, that was gonna be parking lot. And someone made Ben change that to make that green space and
You
put the
know,
parking.
parking out back.
Which I think is a good idea.
Yeah. I mean, I guess worst case scenario, if we'll have to, or I'll have to digest a little bit. I don't know about the rest of you if you're good with it, but I mean, worst case scenario, if they are short, we do still have the option, you could pay for parking. If
Well, I mean,
that was-
worst case scenario, you're gonna create the shared parking across the street. That's not in my mind, because.
Well, if there is enough parking for that side of the street to add to it. I would think there is.
I think they got, I think they got plenty.
That was way overbuilt, that parking.
That's all retail, I mean, other than what Depot and.
The only problem is where do you have
Depot Burgers is across the street.
no, I understand that, but
Which is why I put the distance from property over to the discount beverage side of the parking lot, where there is no active restaurant.
And there is a cross, the sidewalk goes down here and the light is probably, the light probably is right by this property line. Is that about where the traffic light is, where the crosswalk is? I'm just trying to think if,
Exactly where that purple line goes is across the crosswalk where the light is. That's how Google draws it, doesn't want you
so
to.
you would have the sidewalk would,
Yeah.
the sidewalk from the front of the building would go to a crosswalk to get across the street.
Yeah.
Okay.
Crosswalk to the sidewalk.
Yeah.
Yes. It, you know, it's, I think, less than 100 feet across the street to the Depot Burger parking lot, but they're open during the evening, so.
Yeah, but you're not taking the.
But you're not taking the public.
taking their parking into
No.
account, right, so.
I only have one other question for you, but I can't find in the bylaw, is how do you deal with outdoor seating? If they wanted to add 6, 8, 10 outdoor seats,
Can I ask about that?
I think.
is that a full parking space or is it?
Well, it's seasonal.
Or something that's gonna be used 4 months a year?
What do we usually do with that?
Trade-off?
Is it a trade-off for interior or out inside
Which-
seats? If they want to do outside seating? How does that come into play? Do they have
I don't know that it's broken out anywhere. Seating is seating.
I know that it used to, back in my planning.
I thought they-
Used to be.
If you took away some seats inside, you could have outside. Didn't we have that with,
I can't find, I've done a search, number of searches, I can't find anything in the current bylaw.
I'd have to look at that. I know it changed. I know it changed at one point in time. I don't remember exactly but we can look into that. So what, if you were thinking about doing outside seating, how many outside seats were you looking?
I
And
think that's still up in the air, it needs to be sort of sketched out by their architect or designer to see.
where would they go?
Most likely right up against the building, sort of table and a couple of chairs. up
So how does sewer work with that? How does sewer allocation work with those additions?
It's all by seats. And I know that there was some flexibility for seasonality.
See, I thought with sewer too, that
Right.
there was it's like only a 50% allocation versus outdoor.
Don't quote me on that. So-
Again, it's been a while since I've been through a big application with you guys, so the bylaws have changed since then.
So that'd be a Scott Murphy question. We can kind of noodle that through.
So the outside seats would be in the green space you're talking or in
I
the?
don't know. My guess is that they would be on the side. It's a pretty wide sidewalk. I think it's
Yeah.
close to that sidewalk. My guess is they take up a couple of feet of the sidewalk next to the building.
Yeah. We can put small tables up right next to the building.
Like a bistro table or
Yeah.
something like that.
I think that the alcohol requires a fencing around that as well too.
Yes.
Sorry?
There may be fencing required, so we probably need a site.
Yeah, there are other issues that have to be dealt with when it comes to that, as far as, like you said, barrier and that, so. But I wanted to ask the question because I haven't been all the time.
It seems like it's worthwhile going ahead with a proposal.
Okay.
But I think we can deal with the parking. If everybody's good.
Yep.
Sir.
Eileen, Mary, parking?
I mean, I think this list was pretty comprehensive, the chart that was developed. Unless Peter has any corrections to make to it, I mean, I think you guys did you did your due diligence with parking, so that, as long as that issue is resolved to everybody's expectations, I think I'm okay with it.
Yes, I think there are many solutions to their parking shortage that we can work through.
I just wanted to add, I don't know what anybody knows about anything in town, but if for some reason Depot 62 leaves or moves and their restaurant is not there anymore, and there's a good chance that might happen. I don't know if you know.
I can't say.
And it would have made the math a lot easier if I just said, well, he won't be open in a couple of months. We're good to go, but I want to be able to leave that flexibility in for that building for future use, so.
Okay.
Anything else?
Sounds good.
I wanted to just say I appreciate your interest in investing in Manchester. Have you done this kind of business before?
Okay, that's it.
But I started 9 businesses, she started a couple, so. You don't want to run a business, we just don't want to run a lot, but. There isn't one here, or
I need to run a parking lot too. I need to run a parking lot too.
We'll figure that out, that can't be it.
Figure that out.
You're all welcome to join us, it's gonna be fun. We saw a great meeting.
Thanks.
Thank you. Good job.
Thank you.
Thanks, Peter, thanks, Ron.
Take it easy, Craig.
So we are. Good. Can they stay, how do they stay on them? They can't stay on them. Just want to know what do you have coming up for next month? I didn't know.
Next month,
Well, Eileen and Mary are still on Zoom. They can hear what we're.
we have.
We
the,
are.
The town of Manchester boundary line adjustment, we could talk about.
What?
The town of Manchester boundary line adjustment for Airport Road,
Oh, okay, so they're talking about that now?
we got that coming up. And, there's one on item. Potential.
Now, what's that adjustment? Is that the,
It's the airport road one.
This is the sale that's gonna be pending with, Dr. Levis in the town of Manchester.
so they're talking about doing that property line adjustment on the Levis property where they're selling or propose to sell to Levis?
Correct.
Oh,
There was some thoughts, on how to do that. I'm happy to, to do it administratively. Once I get all the information in, I can give it to you guys and you guys can
I
make.
think something as big as that, I think we should take a look at it. You're by myself.
Yeah, it's no harm.
I don't think there's any rush for this, as far as I'm aware, that, they just gave us the information, part of it. Now waiting on the narrative to come in. So once I had that, I can make a distribution to you all. And, we'll have it on the agenda for next meeting.
How does that work? Is that a town, does town vote on something like that, or I don't know how that works?
I think they can enter into a real estate contract to sell stuff. I don't know that they, I don't honestly know the answer.
I don't either. So that's the only thing on for,
That's as far as I know, yeah.
and they might not even be ready.
It might not.
He might not be here
Well,
till
he
June.
said he was gonna get me the narrative today, so I kind of expected.
So basically, it's, at this point in time, it's just a lot line adjustment. It's from the town standpoint, right? It's nothing to do with any sales. They're just creating a lot line adjustment on the property. Right, so it would be a lot line adjustment between Levis and the town of Manchester at this point in time. Okay. Yep.
I didn't ask a question about price discovery and select board meeting going back 2 select board meetings ago, I think. Seems a little still up in the air. Maybe.
Direction,
Price discovery for the 7 acres, like how they value it.
Oh, I think that's
Still undecided.
It's a process. It wasn't clear. Scott gave me a brief rundown in the meeting, but I'm still a little uncertain.
Yeah.
How they get a full valuation and true price discovery for a prearranged deal, it seems like. That was my question.
It's out of our hands. That's out of our hands. We have nothing to do with that.
I'm sure the assessor could probably put together some numbers on some recent sales that would back into that number.
Sure, you can call a broker and they'll give you a price.
There you go.
Yeah.
Number.
So next meeting, we have May, what, 4th?
No, I don't think so.
May the 4th. May the 4th. Third,
The first Wednesday is May 6th.
May 6th.
May what?
May 6th.
May 6th. Okay, so I guess we can write findings for the retreat.
UCS.
For UCS.
And United. And Treat still will be bringing, I don't know if the revised plans to show everything.
How are we handling, on a separate matter, how are we handling the food carts now? Is that coming before DRB annually?
When we get the applications, still, Scott will let me know. And I'll bring it to you guys so we can look at the site plan.
So that is,
But
that is coming
is
to
that
us.
annually though?
Yeah,
Yeah, January 1 is the renewal date,
January.
but some people don't renew on January because they're not ready to start up till spring.
but they're every year they will all come to us for the select board or the town manager, the select board will get the applications, or do they go direct to you first? They
Come to me and they'll get distributed to you guys. So then we'll put it on the agenda to look at them and maybe schedule a site need be. I mean, the easy ones with the hot dog lady and the hound dog and
Cool. Got a motion to adjourn, or we're ready to get out of here?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
There's a motion to adjourn, a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
thank you all.
Have a good night.
Have a good night.
Have a good night.
All right.
Recording stopped.